his Uncle Harry, my husband's Uncle Harry, went to my dad's shop, he's known my dad forever too, and he was bragging about, you know, the Chadbourne family this and the Chadbourne family that, and my dad just had enough of it, and he said, well, yeah, you guys have been here a lot longer than us, but I made sure nobody'd ever forget our family name.
All right. I know y'all thought, oh, they're all going to come to the microphone. I know y'all thought it. I already thought balloons. I read it. Yeah, okay. All right. Bud Tonnesen. Our last Pizzerino boy inducted is Bud Tonnesen. As I said before, they were jocks and pranksters, and Bud was one of the jockiest of the jocks. To put it more grammatically, since my 10th grade English teacher, Mr. Scher, is sitting right here, he was voted most athletic in the class of 1956's yearbook. He lettered in football, baseball, basketball, and track and field. Charles Lee Tonnesen's first and middle names came from both of his grandfathers, so as not to show any favoritism, they chose a neutral nickname, Buddy. That stuck. Where the E. Gary Vaughn Gymnasium is in Armijo, that was their baseball and football field where Bud was growing up. The newspaper articles about Tonnesen's athletic abilities routinely called him an all-star sharpshooter and a ball hawk in basketball, and wait for it, fashion trendsetter. Those shorts have not come back in fashion, but any day now. In football, he was the star halfback who could rumble in for a touchdown and then kick and make the extra point. In track and field, he was the 180 low hurdle record breaker. He excelled in baseball as well. Bud went on to play football at Vallejo Junior College. One of the true highlights of Bud's football career was on September 30th, 1955. That was when the old Armijo Union High School football field was renamed the James E. Brownlee Field after the long-serving principal. 2,500 spectators watched the Indians beat the Livermore Cowboys and enjoyed the field's dedication under brand new field lights at halftime. Led by quarterback John Anabo and halfback Bud, who scored both of Armijo's touchdowns, the Indians won the game 13-7. Coach Ed Hopkins was carried off the field on the shoulders of his victorious squad. During that co-championship season, Bud Tonnesen, along with Darryl Carbone and Bob Lozano, each had 100-yard rushing games. Someone should give a fist bump to that offensive line, he thinks. Now, Bud was born and raised in Fairfield and still lives just a hop, skip, and a jump away from where we're at right now. He served on the Fairfield Recreation Committee for years and was its chairman. Real estate working for the State Board of Equalization is how he provided for his family. He's a fixture of the Fairfield community and exemplifies the skills that his coach Ed Hopkins tried to instill in him as a young man. To win games, but to be a person of integrity. Bud Tonnesen is a Fairfielder's Fairfielder. I mean, look at this picture from 2019. I can't think of a more Fairfield picture than lifelong Fairfielder Bud Tonnesen standing in downtown Fairfield at the Fairfield 4th of July parade, giving 2 thumbs up to a C-17 Globemaster doing a flyover en route back to Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield.
Yeah.
Please join me in welcoming Bud Tonnesen into the Armijo High School Hall of Fame.
You want to tell a story? I want to remind you. Well, that was lucky. Well, I'm gonna talk to my son after we get out of here. Why you turn that down? Okay. Can you hear me?
Hear ya.
Good. That's all. Now, this is just as great to be up on this floor with all the other people, and I know most of them, and because I like wine, and it's great to graduate from Armijo High School and have Chick Lanza behind you, you know. It pays dividends. But this is great. I'm at a loss for words. I was born in Bird's Landing. I think it was the major house in Bird's Landing at that time. And I graduated from Bird's Landing up to Armijo. And that is, I think that's a great thing. Now, Scott, since you got me up here, what is the story you want to tell?
So I'll share a story that my dad shared with me. Well, first of all, I went to Fairfield High my first year. Didn't want everyone to admit that. So I played for Coach Thompson, and he told me to call him heavy. I ran laps for about an hour. But I wanted to share a story that my dad told me many years ago when Coach Hopkins was there. They weren't supposed to go out onto the basketball court with their dress shoes on. So Coach Thompson caught him in the middle of Coach Hopkins caught him in the middle of the gym, and he goes, Tonnesen, you're out in the middle of the gym, you're not supposed to be there with your shoes on. He goes, how'd you get there? He goes, walked on my hands. He goes, well then walk out. And my dad said he got up on his hands and he could walk on his hands and he got out, but I thought that was one of my favorite stories.
I couldn't do it now. But that's a true story. It's just what you put on here, Scott, is super. I think we need more of it. Just to see how Fairfield's doing and how, in this instance, sports are doing. And Armijo's had some not super football teams, but they had some good football teams. And I think the more we get the young kids interested in playing sports, the scores will be more in favor of Armijo than what it has been. And I'm not slighting Fairfield. Oh yeah, maybe I am. I played softball with Ron Thompson, and he was quite a ball player. And it's just, we need to do more things together. And that's about all.
Okay. Maria White-Tillman. And she had to wait a long time. I know. My last name begins with W too, so I know, alphabetical order. But we were here the last one, but not least. Class of 1977 grad Maria White-Tillman worked at CNN for over 30 years. In that time, her trophy case got crowded with multiple National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Emmys and George C. Peabody Awards. But lots of people have those. Tonight she's being inducted into the Armijo High School Hall of Fame. Maria's career started when she worked on the Armijo Joint Union School newspaper. After graduating from Armijo, White-Tillman earned her bachelor's degree in communication studies from Sacramento State University in 1982. She got valuable experience working on the Travis Air Force Base newspaper, The Tailwind, and as a general assignment reporter at the Sacramento Observer. She then worked as an intern newsroom assistant at KXTV Channel 10 before being hired at CNN in Atlanta in 1984. Now, some of the numerous major news stories CNN covered during White-Tillman's tenure includes the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion, the Olympic Park bombing, the Oklahoma City bombing, the 2005 South Asia tsunami disaster, Hurricane Katrina and its aftermath, the 2008 presidential election, the death of Princess Diana, and the September 11th, 2001 attacks on America. Now, she had rubbed shoulders with numerous famous folks over the course of her time at CNN, including President Bill Clinton, Muhammad Ali, model Beverly Johnson, Jane Fonda, and U2's Bono. But meeting one of her journalistic inspirations, KTVU's Belva Davis, was a fulfilling full circle moment. While at Armijo, Maria helped students' voices be heard by writing editorials, covering sports, and handling other features for the Joint Union. At CNN, she helped the world stay informed daily. And now, as a director of marketing and events for the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia Incorporated, she helps those afflicted with that dread disease. The thread running through all of it is the word help. Please join me in welcoming a true force for good in this world, Maria White-Tillman, into the Armijo High School Hall of Fame.
First, I want to give honor and glory to God, and I want to thank the Alumni Association and Tony for thinking about me. I mean, I left here in 1977 when I went away to college and then moved to Atlanta, and this is a classic story if you don't know who's watching you when you're clear across the country. So thank you to the Alumni Association. My love for journalism began, as Tony said, back in the day watching Belva Davis at KTVU Channel 2 and Valerie Morris, she was at KGO Channel 7, seeing women that looked just like me. They were all poised and just beautiful, and my parents were watching the evening news, and that's how I began my love for journalism. And then at Armijo, Mrs. Raff, she invited me to join the newspaper, and I was like, wow, thank you. I was so honored and flattered, because I never thought that I had the chops to join the high school Armijo Joint Union newspaper, but it was an absolute honor and pleasure. You know, I moved to Atlanta in 1984, and I'll be brief because I'm the last one. I know y'all want to go eat. But I moved to Atlanta in 1984, not knowing a soul. My family was like, you're leaving California to go south? You don't know a soul? I'm like, well, I'm a journalist. I want to do this. And it's this new startup called CNN, this young company that no one ever really knew about. So I went to Atlanta, and I thought I'll just stay a year or two just to get some experience. And I ended up staying there for 32 years. And after CNN, I worked at NPR Radio as a reporter. And then I went to another startup, and then I left journalism altogether. I want holidays off and weekends and all that. But it's been an honor. I've had a great ride in journalism. I love the field. I still consider myself a journalist, even though I'm in marketing now. But it's great, and I just want to say my love for journalism began here in California, again watching Belva Davis and Valerie Morris, and working on the Joint Union newspaper at Armijo. So thank you all so very much.
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody. Thank you all. Give yourselves a big round of applause. thank you for all our inductees and for everybody who came and spoke on their behalf. And have a great time. We haven't done this since 2015, so we'll see you in 8 years, I guess. No, maybe soon. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.